luck, have fun,
It's doing a
and
tournament by.
let's go to see the second match from today.
Wow, look at that.
perfect,
Mangle's Cadaver
guys.
already at Darkest.
All
Can you
Darkest
believe that?
indeed, yeah.
So close into the season. This
Yeah.
guy's just going crazy.
He has been practicing a lot. That's what I think it is. He just tried to play a lot of different compositions.
Oh, look
So,
at these
good
teams
luck.
here, Mike.
Hey, so we're both
just
right.
from both.
Start Blackc0rsair. Blackc0rsair, right?
Oh, he's a Goliath boy. He's a Goliath boy indeed. Look at this. So this is a perfect little Goliath composition. And that's just... yeah, I think this was something we should have seen coming, I guess.
Nice.
Powerful first stun there. When you get the
Yeah.
coin, you get the stun initiation on the Crusader. That really, really lets you get the tempo for the rest of the game, especially when you've got an Arbalest on your team that can clear the enemy Vestor stuns as well. This is going to be a game of inches here, I think. We need to see these Jesters take an early kill, a decisive kill, and we need to see this Arbalest really getting value out of our Illuminating Flare.
Yeah. It's also very important for RO8 to have this Arbalest, right? Because indeed those two stuns that Mangle has right now, they might become way less relevant just because of the flare. So you have to be very cautious as to when you use the flare just to cleanse these stuns, and you know at the very same time, right? You just have to be very careful as to when you use the stuns themselves, right? Because you do not want the stuns to overlap and just those stuns to go to waste, right? Because a single flare removing two stuns means that the opponent is basically singleton behind in that situation.
You have to also wonder from this Mangled comp, he's got the Harvest and the Fledgling there with the Hemlock. That's going to be doing an awful lot of DOT damage that his stuns are really, really going to be able to capitalize on, leverage on, and push him that turn forward, maybe get 10 extra damage in. With that Arbalest there, it's not as powerful. They can use their turns more effectively. It won't be a pass turn with extra damage taken.
Yeah, but the problem might be like, whom are you going to damage with this Flagellant? Is it just going to be the Leper? Because when you think about the backline, right, the Arbalest can just remove the bleed, and she also has quite high bleed resistance. Also, I guess like with the accuracy buff from the Ballad, this Flagellant is going to be hitting the spot.
That stun of the Jester goes through. That is putting
Yeah.
Blackc0rsair here back in turn for that finale by one. Is he going to Illuminating Flare here? It's a very interesting first play.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad idea, but then you just lose a lot of damage that you would have normally dealt with this Arbalest. That's 19, that was
a heavy hit there. That was 11 to 20, hitting 19 on that. Powerful hit to that
19,
getting closer into finale range.
Without mark. 19 without mark. Ooh,
Yeah, the thing
a
is,
lot
like,
of damage.
going as a Flagellant with a Leper, if you are using Q here, I feel like you might just get this Flagellant right in this. Oh no, yeah, that's a Q, right? So this is so much damage on the Flagellant over time. Like the Flagellant is actually going to be able to redeem his allies this way. So I feel like taking Q is quite a risky move because that Flash is so popular right now that every single Q might just crit on the Flash, just take him below the 40% HP, right? And this means that he might be able to indeed heal his allies. And healing the Crusader right now would be very, very much desired.
I think that's the point of this
RO8
Flagellant here in this this heavy control build that we saw last week. The one the first comp I used. It's you leverage the stuns from the Vessel and the Crusader alongside those heavy DOTs, and you go for a quick finale kill on someone who's taking lots and lots of DOT damage. Oh, that crit goes
That
through.
critic!
Yeah, that's
That
not my
does stop
quality,
him
guys.
finale in the enemy Jester this time.
Yeah, that's not my quality. This is
doesn't have an
quality
Arbalest
of the
to clear
person
it.
streaming this. It should
This
be
is
better
all
now.
about who gets that finale off
So it's
first.
not me.
Right now, it's anybody's game.
Oh my god.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, the Crusader still has the lance, right? But the question is, like, does Mangle really want to use it at this point? Because this would get the Jester right out of the finale range again. I really don't think he wants to have that happen to himself. It's quite unfortunate he doesn't have the Arbalest here, right? Because Arbalest could have easily just cleansed. He goes for that. Oh, it's like that's as bad as it
That
gets.
is an unfortunate miss.
Changed all! That miss
Not-
changed
yeah.
all!
In the long time of the game, though, I don't think it'll do too much. The amount of DOT damage that Jester's going to take on this click, the next turn will put him down to death's door.
Another thing is, like, actually Mangle's Jester was stunned, so he was not going to be able to act for 2 turns anyway, so the Jester sitting in second would have done nothing for Mangle here. Honestly, that's not
we
a
need to
bad
keep
move
an
at
eye on
all.
these finale damage buffs as well.
Yeah.
These stuns on the Jesters are really going to be slowing the game down for them. Might even go for a kill on Death Door.
Yeah, I mean, double stuns obviously going to keep tabs on this team. I would be worried, I would be slowly getting worried as far as this leper goes, honestly, because if you just leave the leper unchecked for an extended period of time, he's just going to wreck you.
Exactly.
So
even that flagellant there, he's squishy. He can heal, but he's squishy, and you do not want to waste those heals. They're the
Another
end of
big
the game
shit.
when you really big what, mate?
yeah, and another thing, I guess, is like you can just use the Vestal to either heal the Crusader right now, which he's gonna do, or just keep stunning. Oh, there's a very heavy
that's
heal. 30 is
very
magnificent.
helpful there.
I think he's using the
pushing
Idol
way
of
out of
Rebirth
my range.
though. He might just be using the Idol of Rebirth here, Mangle, right? I think he's not one of the Gauntlet guys. I think he's just, I mean, the Brass
Yeah, I
Knuckles,
think
right?
he's running the class-specific Vestal stun
Yeah.
shrink and perhaps. Oh, da!
Oh, that
Putting that
Crazy.
flagellant down
Yeah.
into Death Store is really unfortunate, and Mangle is
Yeah.
forced into playing a much more defensive game than he would have wanted to. Thankfully, though, that flagellant has a very, very aggressive defensive push in Exsanguinate. If that doesn't miss, it might put him back on the board. But who's he going to Exsanguinate? It's going to have to be the leper, right? Because that Crusader with a 70% base bleed resist, it's going to be difficult to land that on him. And we see it on the
So
leper,
the
yeah. And it
second
both goes through. Fantastic hits there.
Yeah, indeed. I'm not sure if I wouldn't have just healed the Crusader here if I were Mangle, because the Crusader is in trouble, like a single miss stun, like a dodge on the stun, and suddenly the Jester just finales you, right? Look at it, the stun comes through. This might be the reality right now for Mangle. He might just lose his Crusader next turn.
I mean, look at Mangle's team right now. 2 stuns, one of the Jester, one of the Crusader. He's only got that Vestal to leverage offensively with his stuns against Corsair. That's what happens when you start to play defensively against a team like this. That one Crusader with 1 stun. You know what? In turn 3, half of your team is stunned. That is insane turn economy. Insane.
Wow.
And look at that crit.
That
Putting the
damage.
Crusader down to Death Store again.
That
Always in
damage.
shock here. Mangle cannot go on the offensive.
Yeah.
Okay, I go to speak a little bit time in Spanish, alright, guys?
It's
So-
not a crit heal. Jesus. Go ahead, man,
Okay.
go ahead.
This is a game of 2 halves.
Está la cosa súper interesante, chicos. La verdad es que los dos tienen posibilidades de ganar. Ese bufón tiene muchos problemas, pero el bufón de Mangle Cadaver no está bien colocado para poder tirar la apoteosis. Así que vamos a ver cuál es el resultado final, porque esto tiene para rato. Ok, guys. Let's go to...
Blackc0rsair, he can finale if he wants to. He probably won't do anything but a crit. You know, who is he going to pick him? Who knows? Obviously, you'd want to see defensive play here, trying to keep him alive. Maybe going for a heal with the Arbalest, trying to get that bleed off, and he doesn't. That is risky.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
That
I think
crit.
he was just setting up for this. I feel like this was just the move. Now he's
But
just praying
a
this
dark
Jester.
stab, a dark stab with that, yeah.
Yeah.
This is so risky. Come on, Mangle. This is it. Oh, look at those. Look at those trinkets.
Indeed.
He's got
So-
this is odd itemization here. What do you think about this, Mike?
I just let's just wait for this move before something happens, because I guess Mango just has to keep control over this Jester right now, because no healing is going to get him out of this Death Door here. Like, if he doesn't control this Jester, if this doesn't land right now, oh my god, okay, never mind.
Come on, Mike.
We don't really have to think
Lord.
about this setup anymore. 'Cause
Today
he's
is
just
the
dead.
day of the killing blows, guys. Oh my gosh.
Wow, Mangle turning it around here. This was not a game I thought he would have won. Not a game I thought he would have won, especially not in that fashion. Still with a finale left here, Mangle is essentially 2 for 0 in terms of kills here. It's all about how he sets up this finale here. Something we often see with comps like this is that after they get that first kill, they're scared to push even more forward. They don't do any more. And look at that crit again. So many crit heals.
It didn't really matter because it healed the Jester, who was almost full HP anyway, right? But it does crit again anyway. That's just kind of peculiar, really.
We like to see the big numbers.
So does he just go forward with this right now? I think he might, right? Just like, the thing about like playing Jester and Crusader on the same team, like this double mirror matchup, right, where we have like double Crusader, double Jester, it's basically impossible to miss the stun. So it's, you know, despite the Jester having 40 dodge, you know, it's basically nothing because it's like 0. Because the
It's
Crusader,
game
the
of
Writ of
inches
Execution
and
is
DOTs.
always going to be able to land those stuns anyway.
I mean,
So-
we've seen Mangle here leverage the DOTs to much, much greater effect than Blackc0rsair. Maybe that's why he's winning out now. We can see on the Jester he's got 2 DOTs, and those DOTs probably takes him down to death's door. Those kind of in effect with the stuns, they're an exponential growth, you know. And Mangled here, taking it from the jaws of defeat at one point to
another difficulty.
That's what I was talking about, right? You can just keep the Jester locked down. If you have a Jester of your own, like an accuracy buff of your own, you can just keep the enemy Jester locked down indefinitely with, you know, a Vestal or a Crusader, really. So those finales are way less of a threat. Obviously, it's like something you have to devote your attention to. At the same time, you can just eliminate the threat, right? A Jester of the finale or a Jester who's just permanently stunned is not an asset at all.
You do have to be a little bit worried though about the just the devastating power of the Holy Lance Dark Stab over and over and over again, and you just wait until you want the finale, and then you just, you know, take him before the Crusader, get the finale, get the stun on the Crusader. Mangled here has a yellow brick road in front of him. All he needs is some ruby red shoes to walk on down it. I'm not sure if he is though.
Look at that.
Very risky,
like 2 characters
very
in death's
risky.
door right now. Yeah, he just has to be doing this. He has to be taking risks right now. I mean, Corsair is like he really is forced into this situation. So what Mangle can do here is, that's the problem, because I was really thinking, you know, he could probably heal. Like, he can still do this, right? So he can probably stun the Crusader to prevent his own Jester from getting stunned, and then use the Rally to Flame. So he has to Rally to Flame first, and then just stun with the Vestal, I guess. Right, because this Flagellant is safe. It's just gonna be there. He can heal himself as well. So it's just a matter of not losing the Jester right now, which you can just secure by using Rally to the Flame. And that's just gonna make sure. Okay, is this ADC or something? Oh no!
I think he may have just passed.
No. He's doing it. He's got this.
Radio Flame, very logical.
Yeah, he had to
The thing
do
about
this.
this Jester here is you don't mind if he dies at this point after he gets that finale off,
Yeah.
but right now he's basically a free kill that you've banked on, and if you lose him, you're 2 men down rather than 1.
Yeah.
Because all his point is to get that 1 kill, like on that Leper now, a very ripe, fresh Leper. Usually would be able to Solemnity himself into health. This Jester, boom, straight through. Oh, Lord.
Wow.
These crits are just coming through all day long.
Indeed. But it doesn't really matter right now, because I think he just goes for a stun on the Crusader, heals with the Flagellant, and he's pretty much...
We might see the stress come into play at some point. This is going to be a long game.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just about to be over, honestly. Because it's just... Like, there's no way for Corsair to prevent the finale right now if he gets stunned. He's gonna get stunned. Like, if like there's the only right move right now. He just stuns the Crusader,
Absolutely.
and then like whatever the Leper does,
Enter the stun.
it's just not gonna matter, right?
Very bad situation for Blackc0rsair.
Yeah.
Well, I
but-
think Blackc0rsair, he does.
This is the only. Oh
He
my
needs to
god!
get
Oh my
this
god!
Jester.
Oh! Move again!
That was very good. That was very good. I actually didn't think of this. That was very solid of a move. But still, you know, Jester can still execute, I guess, right, with the Dark Stab, so it's not entirely done.
He could even go for a Harvest here, be cheeky,
Yeah.
try and get more down the air.
He would just stun the Leper, honestly. It could be like a nice chain stun right now. Just stun the Crusader and use the Vestal to stun the Arbalest and just, you know, get those chain stuns going for himself. Oh, here? That's peculiar. Honestly, I would have never expected that to happen.
And it's a death still, yeah.
Resist.
But I don't think this actually does anything. Like, why would
Slightly
you do this?
a risky play. I think the idea is he might have wanted to put some bleed on that Crusader, but
But that's
obviously he did trade it for 10%, and 10%, you know, do you really want to trade that? I don't really mind.
I'd really like to see that, if we get to the next game, I'd really like to see that chop on this Leper, because I don't really think that Hugh is achieving
I'd like
anything.
to see a lot of trinket changes. I mean, you see Flagellant's got the those minus stress gauntlets on. They're not an effective ability unless you're against stress or you're kind of really needing to spam healing, and that's not that often.
Yeah. And the Arbalest also, I think she can give up on the snuff. She can just take something else, like the breastplate, for instance. Because she's just not getting pulled anywhere. Like, not at all. Like, there's no pull at all on Mangle Cadaver's composition, right? So you can optimize a lot right now. So I feel like
Resist! Ooh!
on the other hand, I think Mangle can optimize the match. So I feel like Corsair has an upper hand in terms of like what he can change between the games, because like you can actually make your characters way more powerful.
I mean, he could change his entire game set completely. He could he could make it a mark damage build rather than a kind of control-y Jester build, you know?
Yeah.
And this kind of thing, would devastate Mangle Cadaver if he's not ready. If he runs into this with the same trinkets, with the same abilities.
Yeah.
I mean, man, what would you do in these? What you're thinking right now? Mangle Cadaver, do you think you've won this game, or are you still worried? Do you think this one's in the bag?
I think Mangle's got this. I'm pretty confident Mangle is just going to take the win. Like it will take a very, very big mistake right now to lose this, because he like 2 sources of healing, a finale still unused, but out there anyway. He has the Undying Flagellant, 2 stuns. Like if you lose a single character against a stun composition, I feel like this is over.
Look at this. You hate to see both the Arbalest and the Crusader stuns.
Yeah.
I think this turn very, very. I mean, knock, knock, knock. What is that? That's me putting the nails in Blackc0rsair's coffin for this game, I think.
And Mangle's also being very patient here. Look, he waited it out. Like he waited for the Arbalest to use her 10. I think he's just gonna go for another stun on her. Honestly,
sometimes you don't even need to use finale. Sometimes it's safer not to die. There we go. And the killing blow.
That's over now.
I think it's all about over here for Corsair. And he doesn't slam it, he just goes full on aggressive here.
So it's just going to be a stun.
So, Mike,
it's just going to be a stun now.
What do you want to see in terms of... do you want to see a giant strategy change here from Corsair? Do you want to see Corsair have a little change?
I don't know what is the possible change from Blackc0rsair, but I think, oh my gosh, another critic. This is a very bad situation in this moment.
Well, yeah, I mean, this game is over. This game is over.
Yes.
Totally, completely over,
Mike, what trinkets or strategic do you think you want to change if you're Blackc0rsair then? So, how would you try and win this?
I was actually thinking of making some switches on the laptop, but now that I think about this, like if you have the exotic snuff here, it helps a lot against getting double stunned by the Vesta and by the Crusader. And if you take the chop, which is an actual threat for Mangle, I think Mangle might just start stunning a lot. Okay, that's GG called.
So Corsair does surrender that.
They surrender. It's normal. Very, very interesting. The most disequilibrated in this match is the early die of the Jester, right? So the first match is winning for Entirely Doom. Congratulations, Entirely. Let's go change to the view, right? So
Indeed.
you can share your view now, Entirely, the Entirely Doom, or prefer not. What do you think? You can.
I can if needed.
All right. So put your view now. Sorry. Now.
Yeah, so Corsair, you have to stop streaming now, I guess, because Mangle is going to be streaming this now, I guess.
Misukun. I've been told by like 3 people your voice is way too loud, especially when you shout.
No, I think it's very good.
But no, I mean, like, okay. People literally saying in this chat right now that it's too loud.
I think it's good to have 3 person speaking here.
No, I don't mean like, I mean just literally like your voice volume. That it's too loud.
Oh, you think that is very?
I
very
don't
like
think that. I don't think that. I've had people say that to me. Okay, don't worry. It's fine now. It's fine now. Don't worry.
Okay. So let's go change. Let me 1 second, guys. Close that transmission and start another transmissions. Right. So, sorry. I go to change the view. Just 1 second, guys. For example, the face of Sis. When you're ready, just tell me, right, guys?
Yeah, so they're busy strategizing right now, I guess. So let's just not bother them. Let's not disturb them too much.
Should we maybe even join a different voice channel? Because I think they can both hear us in this one, right?
Yeah, I think it will be messy, so we can just. I think we can just wait.
Okay.
Like, I think they will just be introducing a lot of commotion, which we don't really want to be happening. Plus,
what kind of things do you want to see here from Corsair? Corsair is obviously on the back foot on this game, right? He did lose the first one, so it's him who really needs to kind of take control of the second game.
Chop. I really want to see the chop, because I think this was
That's the chop.
the Leper needs the chop to actually be useful in this.
I mean, we saw really interesting trinkets on Mangle Cadaver's side, some really off picks, I would say. I think it was a Pit Fighter's Helm, a very defensive ability, protection, max health points taken on a character. Very, very weird to see that. I think maybe, knowing what he knows now, taking that victory in the first one, he might have to go a little bit more aggressive even. Try and take control earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I feel like now that Corsair knows what he's up against, he can just optimize the Arbalest, he can optimize the Leper a bit more. That's what I would be looking at, those two characters. I feel like they could have just done way more damage. Or
exactly, damage.
Like
is that what you want them to do more of? More damage from
yeah,
Corsair?
because like he has no way of re-controlling the Vestal and the Crusader. He can just deny some of those stands using the Arbalest. So maybe just keeping the Arbalest alive as long as possible would be the solution here? What do you think?
I think you might even want to see a slight movement towards perhaps a hybrid mark comp. So you could even take it slow, use the first turn, perhaps even marking with the Arbalest, trying to fish for those crits to instantly go into that Jester. So I think that's a very, very deadly combo. It's just a 1-2 combo. A crit for 34 off an Arbalest into a Jester's death blow. I mean, I almost wouldn't mind seeing the Jesters started here in turn 2, especially with both Crusaders. That way, we can start off with the Holy Lance into the Harvest, into the Holy Lance into the Darkstab. Completely unreal damage in that first phase.
Agreed. It would be a lot of damage. Okay, I think we're going into the game right now, so I'm just going to change the screens, and let's see what those guys have changed indeed in their compositions.
Okay, guys, let's go to the second match.
Perfect. So I'm actually curious about the Leper. I feel like this was the biggest offender for Corsair last game, because it just facilitated or enabled this Flagellant way too much. We have double damage items on the Leper right now, so double crit, right? I think there's double crit.
Wow! We've even got a Gambison on Corsair's Jester here.
Yeah, just
very, very defensive. He wants to be risky, take an extra death blow here. Getting the coin Corsair here, starting that stun train on the Crusader. What are we going to see from Cadaver? Maybe a stun back?
I'm re-waiting for this. So Corsair went first now, so he has the momentum in this. And previously established, he drops the bar. I think this is like what you really have to do in both cases. If you play against the Jester, you want to have this reliable ability to control
the
him.
rest of the game as well, because also he's got that Rain of Sorrows and he's got Harvest, both very low base accuracy abilities. Push them up by 20 there. That'll hit the Leper every time, it'll hit the Crusader every time, it'll hit the Arbalest every time.
Also, you really want to have the accuracy on the Leper, because all his abilities have low accuracy base, and even with Revenge, like, this is just not enough sometimes. So I feel like this is just a smart move by both guys, just to play it slow.
What
and
I would have
safe.
liked to see more from Corsair last game was purging. We didn't see much purging. I think if you started to purge heavily on this front row, whilst you are kind of endangering yourself with that Jester, you could easily time that with a Crusader stun.
Yeah, I think like the major goal of what Corsair has right now is just to take somebody very low and execute that target very, very quickly. So, you know, purging just delays you a little bit. Like, every single time you purge...
Well, purge increases your accuracy, has high base accuracy, and does an awful lot of damage. It does for, you know, not too much lower than Chop does.
It does indeed, but you don't get to bat the Revenge, for instance, or just don't get the Chop off, and that I feel like that might just punish you a bit. And you're also smashing the Flagellant, which you probably don't want to be doing, and the Flag just can jump back into the front with a single movement. So
that is still though. You say you can jump back in front with a single move, and that's still a 1-for-1 turn economy trade, and you've done damage to him. While you don't really want to damage a Flagellant in this position, I mean,
I think Corsair's doing a very good job.
You're on the back foot. He's doing an incredible job of just keeping away from the stuns. Right now, he could be in a very, very, very bad position with the stuns. Luckily, the Arbalest in fourth, unable to be targeted by him. The stuns can always clear it up.
It's just a matter of like how well Corsair plays the following turn, I feel, because Corsair might indeed be able to just control those stuns with the Arbalest, wait for the Vestal to use his stun now. No, he might not be, because he went fast, right? So that's just not on the cards right now. I think Corsair wants to set up the finale right now. He really wants to do it badly. But he can just keep smacking this Crusader and he's dead, until he's dead, right? That's another possibility for him. Because he can just still shoot and use the chop on the Crusader and possibly eliminate...
I think right now, if you're Mangled, what you're wanting to do is pull the trigger on that finale quicker, because Corsair obviously has got the Let's see the finale. Oh, that's going to push him far out of finale range in one single movement. That was a very smart play here. Rather than going for an aggressive stun, he's clearly went for that. He'll push them up to full health now.
It's going to be 0 again, though. That's the power of the leper, man.
25 and the doors again.
Yeah, this is
I think it's a
very,
very good strategy that changes the chop. For this form, don't make damage to the flagellant and can't use his healing. Very interesting.
Yeah. So I feel Corsair could have also taken the vial for the Arbalest, perhaps. He took the plate. That's also quite smart. You would have taken the vial that gives you bleeder and blight resistance, because this would have meant that she's just absolutely immune to any sort of damage all the time.
You maybe would have liked to see a
let's
little bit
go.
more trinket swapping here for Blackc0rsair. The illuminating flare there, clearing the Jester.
Yeah.
Right now, Corsair wants to get that finale.
idea.
He's going to get that Dirk step off right now. Might even get the kill with it. If I'm Mangled, I'm feeling worried. I'm shivering my timbers like I'm a goddamn pirate.
I think this might be a kill indeed. I would expect this to go.
Oh,
there we go. Okay.
Not giving his
But
juice
Corsair
this
starts now. Corsair just gets the kill. That's the finale for Corsair. Straight away. Boom, dead. Someone dies now, I think. Unless Corsair is just trying to be kind of greedy and goes for the X stab, but I don't think he really wants this to happen. Because if he kills one of the stun characters for Mangle, I feel this is just very, very big for him. I guess he might just go for the kill here. He goes for it indeed. That's the finale, obviously.
And he gets it every time. You're going to get that. Corsair here has been a lot more aggressive than he was last game, getting the advantage there from that chop, pushing the Crusader down very low, taking it to 4-3. And right now, Mangle doesn't have much to work with, and you don't really want to finale the enemy Jester when he's at 0 health.
Yeah.
We need to see some very, very slow play here from Mangle. Really make use of that Vestal stun and those Flagellant DOTs, the Hemlock on both of the Jester, not the Jester, sorry, on the Flagellant and the Jester. Really push that DOT damage until you can kill anyone you want to. You want to Dirk stab that Jester and get a finale on someone else. And you want to do it very, very, very quickly.
Wow.
Yeah, right. So the major problem for Mangle right now is that even if he gets the Jester to second row, he still very likely is to be just permanently stunned here. So I think he's just going to be controlled. Oh, I don't like this move. Because this just removes the corpse.
Very, very poor move, I think. I don't want to see the finale on the Jester right now. I would almost like to see a Reign of Sorrows. Try and get that punish. Because you almost know you're going to get stunned by that Crusader anyway. Take it this turn, and then use it again next turn. There we go.
And then you can finale the Arbalest, right? So Mangle might be just back right back into the game. I don't know. I feel like you could have just healed the Jester there with the Crusader. He could have been okay. But he chose not to. It's just so much trouble now for him.
Well, I mean, right now, Corsair obviously is going to stun that Jester. That's one more turn. We've got a Vestal and a Flagellant, two very, very high sustaining characters. They can keep him alive to pop down that second hour finale. The Arbalest ticking down 12 per turn. Even if she heals herself now, she might still be in range of a... There we go. Look at this. We're going to see it. We're going to see it. Give me a countdown, Mike. Come on. Countdown for this finale. Yeah. Everyone in the crowd is going to go wild. Mangle boys, they're going to take this 2-0. I did not believe that would happen. Is he going to finale?
Like
Oh my gosh. And the result of...
Yeah.
There we go.
Beautiful. Yeah, right. I feel like that pair just lost the game for Corsair. I thought he had like a lot of control there.
Exactly. I mean, with an Arbalest against a double stun comp, you do go into these games with quite a lot of control. But when your Arbalest pushes into turn 3, she just doesn't have it. I think we're going to see a win here from Mangle. I'm not sure there is much Corsair can do, Mike.
Yeah. No. I feel like the Slap and Crusader, they just don't have enough. Oh, that's such a shame. I feel like this was going to be like a proper best of 3 with 3 games happening. And we just had those 2 very short series instead, like 2-0, looks like 2-0 anyway to me. Because like, what do you do to Mangle right now if you're Corsair? Like, what exactly is your game plan at this point? I mean, Granted, he's in there Jester, like this just isn't going to do that much this
I
game.
mean, Corsair he does have a very good chance of winning. Let's say he doesn't use Exsanguinate. He might use Exsanguinate. If he doesn't use Exsanguinate, Corsair he gets a stun on the Flagellant, put him down to Death's Door. You need to stun the Vestal too as well. When you need to stun everyone, you need more stuns than this. It's ridiculous for Corsair. You need to get quite lucky. You need to maybe get a crit on both, and then take your pick with the Crusader. Because that Vestal, they're obviously unable to heal more than just one person in rank 2. That purge they're going to push
more.
There we go.
And
Look at that! That is a very, very smart play from Corsair.
He's
unable with his Crusader here though. But what he can do is
redeem.
stun that Vestal, stun that Jester all the time.
But the redeem is still on the cards, right? You can just activate this Crusader, this Flagellant, and just redeem. Also, you have to notice that there is no way for Corsair to access RO3, so this Flagellant is just safe where he is.
But also, you want to...
blow! In the Vesta!
He's slowly starting to take back control. He's only got 2 real control abilities, but he's using them both a lot. If he breaks out a redeem, then you don't really mind it too much, because Corsair's not used to Solemnity. If you can get 1 or 2 kills here, luckily, then he might just take it.
Yeah, frankly, you could have just passed this turn on the Flagellant, just kept this this healing for the following turn. You can only use it twice, I think.
Exactly.
Every single redeem just matters so much. I think he could have waited because he's safe there with the Flag. There's literally nothing you can do to reach the Flagellant right now. Oh, yeah. You have to purge the Jester, I think, now, and then the Flag just lands in 2, and this is really not what you want to do as Corsair, so I feel like this Flag is just going to sit there for a while.
Corsair needs to be thinking about 3 turns in advance right now, and he needs to be counting on the fact that he lands every single thing he wants to. Mangled right now, I mean, if you're Mangled, you're taking it, you're sitting back, you're sipping, you're smoking a big fat zoo, but Black Corsair here, he is into it. You do not want to get 2-0'd right now. Goliath got 2-0'd. Corsair is champion. He's not going to take it right now, I think. He's going to fight all the way through this one.
Yeah, well, I think it's just curtains for him, isn't it? I was actually... I thought it was realistically a way for Corsair to win this. He's just using a chop on the Vestal and then just hoping it crits or takes it to 0 and then just finishing her off with the Crusader. I feel like this might have indeed been one of the ways for him to kind of claw his way back into this. Because then you have like an inert Jester and a Flagellant. That's something that, a Leper Boy and a Crusader can definitely handle. And right now, I don't think this is within the realm of possibility for Corsair to take this anymore.
I think the real issue was the bleed and blight on Corsair's Leper there, slowly ticking down. If he didn't have that, the guys could have just sat there with high protection, just taking them down, stunning, hewing, purging, shopping, doing whatever they want to do all day long. But right now, Corsair is he's slowly ticking away. He's getting ticked down by those DOTs, and he doesn't really have anything to push with. He's losing a tempo game, and he's losing health.
Also, like, you kind of touched upon this before, but we have the coin and the helmet, the Pit Fighter's helmet on the Jester.
Very interesting trinket.
Yeah, though the coin I feel is quite common these days. Like the Pit Fighters, what do you make of this? It's just for the HP.
I think Mangled right now realised that this is a Jester versus Jester game, and maybe he just wanted his Jester to have a little bit more survivability, but with that in mind, you could take anything else with that. You could take a Monkey's Paw, even solo perhaps, because we're not against the high dodge composition. I think Battle Ballad perhaps a wasted turn on both. I think there's a lot of interesting things to dissect in this play, especially the trinket choices on both. Seen Blackc0rsair take those 2 heavy damage trinkets.
By the way,
Leper
has no Solemnity, by the way. If you have noticed this, he actually has no Solemnity available at all. So it's like, if he's 0 HP, he just dies eventually from there. Maybe not now, but quite soon indeed.
I think Corsair tried to perhaps over-aggro Mangle's team here, and it really didn't pay off, Mike, did it?
No, it did not at all. I feel like this decision to purge has turned the entire game around. Because like Corsair, I thought Corsair definitely had this. It's just looking so vile for him right now.
Corsair,
it's not for nothing. Oh my gosh.
I think there
Very
were
good luck.
2 or 3 points in this game wherein Blackc0rsair really could have taken the win. But Mangle Cadaver playing just so slowly. I don't think either of expected this to go into turn 8, turn 9.
Maybe there's...
But it is.
Oh, don't have a solution.
No.
Mike, do you think Blackc0rsair could have made any changes with his team that he didn't make that could have helped him? Obviously, that Solemnity would have been a great pick in hindsight. What do you think went wrong for him, basically? He tried to play more aggressively.
I think he died to dots, so maybe just having that dot resistance item might have helped him. Also, maybe just going way more aggressive on this Arbalest, maybe not taking the plate, but taking the... what is it? The Tiller, right? The Tiller is the other damage item on the Arbalest. Maybe just taking the Tiller, hoping you crit the Crusader of your opponent, and you just take him down instantaneously with the follow-up. That might have probably worked as well.
I mean, right now, Mikefield, I am Blackc0rsair. He takes his Flagellant, he hits, it doesn't kill. The Jester acts out, hits his Flagellant, kills him. There, we've got the Crusade, he can rally to the flame, he can stun that Vestal. Maybe they have got a chance. Because that Jester on its own is reasonably inert in position when he can only look at that.
Oh, resist the bleed.
Yeah, it's not going to take that bleed, is it? 70% bleed resist. I don't think that's going to hit even with the Trinket.
It would take such insane RNG, I feel, for Corsair to be able to win this right now. Oh, never mind, it's over.
Oh, the another dead blow.
He had like 45% death blow res, so I think this is just fully justifiable for this leopard to be dead right now.
Absolutely.
Unless you should have been dead like a long time ago, so...
Especially without Solemnity, that really is a pig. You would definitely want to take that with the Jester and a Flagellant, right?
He had no time to use it though. Like when he was about to, like when it was worth for him to use that Solemnity, like he had no window of opportunity because he had to get. Like, if he had used Solemnity, this would have just given the entirety of control to Mangle, I feel. So he had to just
reclaim on the Flagellant as well. Do you see that? He took the reclaim on the Flagellant.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
He was expecting that leopard to take chop, not do damage to him. So he could damage himself, get that healing off at the very least.
Yeah, indeed.
Right now, I'm terrified to face him. Blackc0rsair was one of the strongest characters in the game. Opponents in this tournament, rather. And right now, he just got 2-0'd by Mangle. I think he's darkest 2 or 1 already, Mangle could have it. I'm terrified. This guy's going to at least get a $50 Amazon voucher.
Yeah.
Awesome. Rudiment.
I need to start practicing. I think whoever wins the Seed 2 needs to start looking at Mangled Cadaver's play, start trying to really play hard if they want to win this, because this guy's just a step above everyone else.
You probably need to have like a reliable composition that deals with Jesters first, and with Flagellants as well. Those are like, I feel like the biggest picks that Mangle has, and honestly I don't think that like there's something that reliably deals with the Flagellant right now. Maybe you can just lock him down and eliminate him right quite...
I mean, a Jester is a very... I mean, the best thing to do with Jester is a stun or another Jester, but the Flagellant can be easily finale'd against. I think Mangle team running, we've seen this comp from him before. This is a comp he ran last time and a comp I ran in the first week. He's obviously taken my comp, tweaked it a little bit, made it more aggressive rather than the control style of my variant. And right now, I mean, it is turn 10, but that mixture of aggression and control, he pushes when he wants to kill. He can wait as long as he wants right now. He could be against a team of 4 and still probably win without Flagellant in the Vestal.
Wow, that resist!
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because I think like something similar was used by Nothing Else at the very start of the Butcher's Circus. Like at the very beginning. I feel like Nothing Else used to run something to the likes of what Mangled Cadaver is running right now as well. So I think he might have made a full circle here. It's quite peculiar because I think like this was exactly that, like Crusader, the Vestal, the Jester and the Flagellant.
He is the killing blow.
GG.
I think in this tournament we are seeing the dominance of control builds. My game with Joshachu earlier, I mean, by every god and witness, I should not have won that game, but I did with that control variant. It took a little bit longer. We're seeing here a slightly longer control build with Mangled, with that Jester as well. I think we need to be terrified of Jester and control comps in this tournament. Why do you think that is, Misukun?